is your go-to retail tool, right? So I'm going to be showing us in a few minutes, just giving us a brief oversight of the application itself, this capability, and what you can do. So thank you very much. So I'm currently, this is a dev environment, which I'm going to be showing us presently how Excel helps to transform your business. Now you can see on the first thing you're looking on my screen is our intuitive dashboard, where basically you can see your sales from all your outlets, right? Yeah, you can see your sales, your expense, how much are you incurring, how much have you made. You can see all the customers you have in your system, all the supplies you've made to all of your outlets, right? You can also see your sales performance, which you can filter between the monthly and yearly period. All right, you can see your staff performance as I mentioned earlier, right? Excel is a massive tool that can track your staff performance across multiple outlets. So you can see from here how your staff performance, which staff is behaving more, behaving the which staff is making more sales, right? It's bringing more profitability to the business, and you can simply just click on see all to see all your staff performance. You can know from there which staff is doing well, which staff is not doing well. So and you can use that data now to make business driven decision on what to do next. So your income statement, you have your sales versus your income. As I mentioned, this is a demo account, right? But this is just to give you a feeler. And you also have your supply request, right? From your outlet, do you have supplies request from any of your outlets? Basically, you can see it from here. So the next I'll be showing you is, and this will just give you an oversight of how your business is doing from anywhere in the world. This is a global solution. So now I'm going to be showing you how basically your inventory system works. This is a very advanced inventory system. So basically, one of the key highlights that I'll be showing to you is one of the capability is the e-commerce. So Excel not only take care of just your working customer on your various outlets, it also takes care of your online customer. So your online customer are able to make sales, right? They're able to place orders. You also have your shipment management, right? You also have the capability to be able to record those orders, do a shipment process, also deliver to your customers, right? So basically you have your inventory, which basically shows all your outlets, all your stores, the kind of items that are all in that inventory. So let me show you that in a second. So inventory. So let's Okay, so nice. Now we have our headquarter inventory. So now headquarter inventory, which means this is the super admin, the default warehouse, right? This is your headquarter. So you now can see everything, all your default items, right, that has been supplied to your warehouse. Basically, just give it a second to come up. So you can see all of the items, right, that you have been supplied, that you have gotten for your store has been transferred, and I'm going to show you briefly how to enter all these items to the system. This is our inventory. Now, can you see these are all the items you have in your inventory, and it shows you the cost price, the selling price, the stock levels, and the return. So you can see, and based on the category you have entered into the system, basically you can see all of your item categorized. Right, these are just dummy data. So now, as I mentioned earlier, you also have your online inventory. Your online inventory is basically the orders that are available online, that you've made available online for your customer to be able to make sales from online. So you also have that capability. Now you also have your product item capability, which I'm going to be showing you here. So this is basically the backbone of your inventory system. This is where you have given you the capability. Maybe if you're not starting your business from afresh, maybe you already have a business that you want to digitize, right? You have the option of basically importing your product items. There's a template there which you can download, right? Okay. So now this is it. So basically, you can download the template, and basically you can upload hundreds of items on the system, basically of all the items you have in your stores and your outlet that you make sales for physically. Now, if you want to add a product item, I'm just going to run you through a sample briefly on the capability of updating your inventory with new items. Okay, so let's just give it a moment. So basically, this is where you enter your item name. Now you can select categories. Remember, in your settings, you've created multiple categories for your items, such as maybe toy, games, pouch, and or your assortment of that. You can also create subcategory as you wish, right? So now for the items, your item you enter the system, you're able to select the unit. Is it in kg? Is it in liters? Now, if I'm selecting the kg option, I don't have any option. I just need to input stock level. But if I'm inputting sack, we're also giving you the ability to be able to impute the number of items you have in the sack, just for clarity and to avoid fraud, right, in the system, right, from your staff manipulating the system. So we're also giving you that option. So we have you now. You can enter your stock level. How many of these sacks are you inputting into? Are you bringing into your warehouse? Like, so we have 10. So now, what's the minimum stock? So where's the minimum stock? So minimum stock basically is what level should my stock get to that the start giving me like a red indication to say, oh, you need to go and update your inventory, right? You need to get new items. So let's make it maybe five. Now, let's select our categories, subcategories. Okay, let me choose one better. Okay, okay. So now we have our cost price. Now, wonderful. Now, this is the functionality I want to show us. So basically, we have also gone ahead to help you factor in your overhead costs, especially for people transporting items um, from foreign countries to Nigeria and Nigeria to foreign countries. So we also currently we have the capability from Nigeria and pounds, which is in the UK. So you're able to factor in your overhead costs, in certain percentage of your total overhead, and you're able to apply to the items to get your selling price, right? So we just don't want you to, instead of manually calculating your selling price, right, the system automatically can help you do that. So basically, if my item price is 20, right, my cost of my item is 20, and let me select one of these options. So let's say my rent in naira, let's say transport to Delta, for example, is 1%. So basically, that's 1% of the total overhead, and you can see this automatically. It updates my selling price. Now, if I have the option of GPP, one of the things I'm going to show you in your preference is capability of setting up your your default currency. Do you want, is your business operating in naira? Is your business operating in pounds? So one of the functionality you have also inputted feature is the automated conversion, right? Costing, right, from pounds to naira, exchange rate conversion from pounds to naira, and that is done automatically by the system. So if I say maybe my base currency is in naira, I'm making my money in naira, right? Maybe I got the goods from UK and my overhead is about like maybe 5%, or let's say it's 5% of my total overhead in pounds, right? Automatically the system um does the conversion, right? And the back end adds it to my cost price and gives me my selling price. Can you see this? So we're going to check that out briefly just to confirm that. And I'm able to add my profit margin. Let's say my profit margin is 20%. This also affects my selling price. You also have the capability, this will come up in a minute. You also have the capability to override your selling price. Now, clicking on this means I can enter any figure here. Can you see this? My profit margin is 20%, so it added 4. I can also just override my selling price. I can add my discount. I can make it, yes, this is where you can make it available online. So you can make the product available online. You can include the batch number, the expiring date, and the image of the item if you're going to make it online. So all of that, we're taking care of all of that for you. You can see how massive this is. So you also have your inventory category. Basically, this is where you create categories and subcategories of your goods, right? So you also have your sales, right? You have your supply product, you have your supply client, you have your supply request. Supply product is basically where you're transferring. Okay, this is the product item. So this is where you can create your separate different product item list. So you have your supply product, you have your supply product. Now, what supply product does is basically helps you transfer product from, for example, your headquarter warehouse to all of your outlets so that they're able to make sales, right? So you can see I've been able to make major supply requests to even headquarter itself. So for example, some stores might your outlet might also be your headquarters, right? So you are able to even make sales, right? Basically yourself. So you just have to transfer the goods from your warehouse now to your counter, say your outlet, which is also your headquarter, to be able to make sales, right? So supply products is basically helping you to transfer those goods and to give you clarity and accountability of how much each of your outlets have been able to sell, how much goods have been transferred from your main warehouse to all of your outlets. So basically, do you have some special kind of client or wholesale client that you supply to in wholesales, right? Or some special client. You're also giving you the ability to be able to give them custom pricing, right? To some of your VIP customer, for example. So all of this functionality is there. So basically, let me just do one. So basically, select your customer. It gives you the date, and basically you can raise your supply request to supply um, those of your special clients. So let's just give it a moment. Okay, so now you're able to create your supply. Can you see this? You're able to set your price manually. You're able to enter your product item, okay, from your inventory, from your product item list rather. So you're able to increase the quantity so of the item you want to sell, and you're able to do all of that, add the product and complete the process. Supply request basically, as I mentioned, your outlet have the capability to to send requests. Oh, now our outlet maybe in somewhere in the world is having a shortage of, let's say, some of our Binato fans, right? Basically you can always say the outlet can always raise a request to that quarter. Oh, we need this amount of fans, we need this amount of supplies, basically, and the headquarter is able to approve that. So that's basically what the supply request is for. This is where you see all of those requests. So as an admin, you want to be able to keep up to date with this uh, and approve the supply request. Currently, I don't have that. So basically, sales. Now, this is where you can track all sales. This is basically where you can track all sales that have been made, right? So, and you're also able to filter, right? You also have the capability to filter to all of those sales. So you can also filter this month, last month, this year. You can also give a custom filtering, so you can filter based on all your sales you have made. And this is um, all the sales that have been made. You as an admin can see all of the sales that has been made by all of your outlets. You can also see the sales orders, right, that you have in stock, and you can also see returns, right? So we also helping track your returns. If a customer is not satisfied with your goods, what's the process of making that returns and it's clear to the system? You also have an handle of that for you. So you also have your sales chart, basically, which is giving you an idea of how your business is doing. Okay, so let's just give it a moment. So you can see the sales chart. So this is giving you your outlet name, the staff name, the top profit. As I mentioned, this is a demo account. So it's giving your total per outlet sales, your total gross profit. So let's filter for this month, and let's see what sales has been made. So next you have your sales, right? As I was saying, so you can also just look at your sales. So you can also just mention point of sales. So point of sales, this is basically where you can attend to your customers. So you can select items, you can add to the items, and you can also choose your payment method. Is it cash, is it by transfer or POS? So by cash. So you can also enter the cash. The system is also smart enough to detect if you are entering the bare minimum. Can you see this? To be able to make that cash, and you're able to one of the most important features we have integrated into this app is your cash drawer and your receipt printer. So you're also able to cater for the customers, right? You're also able to cater for your customer to grant them receipt, to random change and everything of that. So the nature. So you also have where you can track your online customer. Um, the next thing is you have your order processing. Don't forget, I mentioned we have e-commerce. So you want to be able to you track your online sales, right, and your online orders, and you're also able to create review. Now, your shipping, this is where basically you can go through the shipping process where you can create the order as the order being packaged. You receive an order as the order being packaged, is the order shipped. Basically, you can toggle through that process and your customer is able to know if the goods is in progress. Can you see this? So can you see this? This is one of these goods that the customer has made online. So you can also create a new shipment for an online order you've received to create that ship as the package as it been delivered. You can see the shipment status. This has been delivered. So this order has been closed, has been delivered to the client successfully. Now you have your customer. This is basically where you input your customer so that you can, this is where basically we have inputted some CRM into this application for you where you're able to get your customer list, track your customer. So these are some of your customers, right? And you can raise special orders, supply client for all of these customer. So you have your staff, basically where you can see all of your staff. So basically, it allows you to track your staff performance, right? What's your staff performance, your highest product per sales per outlet, what sales is moving in all your outlets is moving the most, right? Sales performance, who is making more sales. For now, I only have one outlet, which is the admin, so which is already just displaying that. So based on the number of outlets you have, it tells you the sales performance in four outlets, what outlet is taking a certain percentage and what are the staff that are making those sales. So all of that are there. You also have your accounting where you can create your account type for your different accounts, your current, your ledger and stuff like that. You also have the chart of account, right? You also have your expense account where you can track your expense you're making in the business. So we also have the complaints. This is where any complaint raised where e-commerce is tracked, right? So we have also handled that for you, excuse me. So basically, lastly, you have, I think the last segment is where you have your settings. So where you have your settings. So let's give it a moment to come up. Let's show you what you can do with your settings. So you have your warehouse settings. This is where you can create multiple warehouse. You can create multiple warehouses to store your goods depending on your business case. You also have the category settings. So this is basically where you're able to do your overhead calculations, basically create your overhead types as we saw when we're doing the trying to create the product items. Can you see? So you can see my total overhead is zero. Remember when I was trying to create a new product item and I took 5% of maybe GPP, right? You can observe that my cost did not change. Now this is the reason because this is in zero. Do you understand? So, and I have my total overheads in Naira at 60. So, based on your use case, you're also able to create overhead types, basically, yeah. And you can also update the total overhead cost. Basically, it does all the automated costing, calculating your overhead from your total overheads. Like, for example, you move goods from in Nigeria to get to your store. It costs you 60,000 for transportation. Now, remember, you took more than just one goods. Maybe you took a truck full load of goods and many items were in the truck, right? But your total overhead for all of those items is 60,000. Now you're assigning a certain percentage to per item to cover your overhead cost so that you can get back your 60,000 and also get back some profit, right? So all the system does all of that for you. Okay, so now the next thing we have, so that is the category settings where we have automated cost overhead calculation there for you, which is a massive feature on its own. So we also have your outlet settings where you can create your multiple outlets. So you also have your staff settings. You can create your staff, assign them to outlet, assign them to warehouse. You can even make them online customers. You also have your shipping details. Um, okay. So my shipping details, this is where you enter in your cost of your shipping based on your location. Based on if you're staying, for example, in Nigeria, you want to transport to Kano in between Lagos, between maybe Ogun. So how much will it cost you to get the goods to them? So you basically can set that shipping fee. So KPI settings, you want to set KPIs, key performance metrics for your staffs, right? Are you calculate? Are you doing percent attendance rate? Are you thinking sales rate? Tracking those KPIs for all of your customers, and you get your metrics for that. So POS settings, this is where you assign cash drawers, right? POS to certain staff, and create like some certain authentication that distract who is accessing a cash drawer at this point in time. Because to access cash drawer, we have a security feature where you include your PIN, right? So we know which staff is accessing the cash drawer at a particular point in time for more security purposes. So you also have your preference, right? This is where you set up your company details. All right, so let's give it a moment. So this is where you enter in your company name, your company address, so your country, your company address, your company's currency. Now this is where you're setting your default currency. Are you operating in naira? Are you operating in pounds? This is a global solution, as I mentioned. We have the capability to be able to use this in naira, use this in UK. You can also set your VAT based on your use case, your company phone number. We have even done you one where you can upload policy, right? That also affect your e-commerce, right? For example, your return policy, right? You want your customer to know your process of like creating returns, like requesting for returns, right? This is where you upload policies, and it's available on your e-commerce website. And basically, you can make any of those changes. Lastly, you can edit your profile for the admin part. You as an admin, you can update your profile. This is where you can update your emails, you can change your password, you can change your admin pictures and all. So all of that can be done here. So as the admin. So now let's go to wrap up the session. Let's go to our e-commerce. All right. Welcome to Excel. Excel, as I mentioned, is a wonderful app. So let's continue as guests just to show you the capability. All of your new arrivals, right? All your of the goods, your for you, right? Your new arrivals for you, your top discounts, and you have a attached 2% discount to uh to your frozen chicken wings, so you can always make that sales and get that product item, right? As I mentioned, this is a dummy account. So basically, you have all the capability. You're able to add to cart, you're able to create account, you're able to make sales, right? So even based on your use case, we have the option of selecting your payment platform based on your default currencies, right? Your default currencies, so that your customers are able to make payments. So all of that integration has been done into the system. So based on your sales, you even get a notification here after creating an account. And basically, we also have the capability to sign in with your Google or create an account on the platform. So Excel is a wonderful application for you, as I mentioned. So thank you for joining this demo. Once again, as I mentioned, Excel is a tool that gives you control today and confidence for tomorrow on how you want to be successful with your business. Excel is a tool for you. You want a digital transformation made simple, secure, and scalable application. Excel is the one for you. So thank you for watching this.